morning, everybody, and welcome to the GSM's Pride. I really hope you enjoyed the Bronco off-rodeo. I know I did. It was awesome. But I hope that was informative. I hope you got some excitement out of that thing. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. So what am I going to talk about this week? This week is kind of a thing that's ongoing. Well, I wouldn't say ongoing. It's actually going this week with a specific salesperson. So my question is, whose responsibility is it to have a salesperson succeed? Is it the person themselves? Probably. Is it the sales managers? Definitely. Who else is responsible? Is the salespeople responsible for that person to succeed? So I really want to talk about that because right now I've got a salesperson that's really struggling. I think confidence is the key when it comes to selling cars. And we're going to talk about a couple of things of why people don't succeed for a while and when they do, and then also why the things that they do that stop them from succeeding. Because, like I said, the whole point of this vlog is to give you a little bit of a day in the life of a general manager, and I've got a situation right now with an employee that's really, really struggling. I hope they are going to let me do some filming on the situation. But like I said, that's what I want to talk about this week, is who's responsible for a salesperson's success. Is it just the person themselves, or is it the sales managers and their peers as well at the same time? So look forward to getting that down for you guys, and I'll see you all in a bit. Who do you feel, from a salesperson standpoint, is responsible for your success?
Your own self.
Just yourself?
Just yourself.
You don't feel anyone else is responsible for that?
No, absolutely not. Can't blame others for you not succeeding.
What about from a training standpoint? Do you think it's your responsibility to just figure it out yourself, or?
Oh, well, obviously, you have to take into account that, you need to learn from somewhere, and that's what management is there to help you with, and other salespeople. But for the most part, once you've learned the skills that need to be learned, at that point moving forward, it's your responsibility.
In your personal opinion as a salesperson, who do you feel is responsible for your success?
Me.
Just you?
Me.
What about when it comes to training? Do you feel like there's any responsibility from the management to train?
Sure. Yes and no. This business is, I think, one of the few industries where you kind of got to have it or you don't. I mean, it's, being able to relate to people, talk to people, be quick about risk. It's a lot that goes into it that has a lot to do with natural ability.
It's not learnable?
Yeah, there are definitely some skills that are not learnable, which is kind of tough for me, like when I'm asked to train somebody or something like that, because most of what I do it's a God-given thing, and so it's tough to teach somebody how to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's...
Whose responsibility is it, in your opinion, for a salesperson to be successful?
My own. To be honest with you, you guys give us the understanding of how it needs to be done, but it comes to us to be able to be successful, being able to talk to the customers, being able to understand the vehicle, know the vehicle, be able to pretty much explain any question the customer may have.
So if we set up a rule that you had to be a certain amount of cars, you're saying you wouldn't question that if you didn't achieve it?
If I didn't achieve it, that's my fault. I would agree with that.
Grant, in your personal opinion, who do you think is responsible for your success?
Myself. Really, it's when it comes down to it, the results that you put out at the end of the day, the only person that's going to be responsible for those results is yourself.
What about when it comes to training and whatnot? Are you just supposed to learn it on your own, or?
No, I mean, there's some importance to learning those things on your own, being able to do the critical thinking to find out the answers to that stuff. But I mean, having the resources available to you and the people to help is also valuable in its own way as well.
So if we set a goal and you don't achieve it, you have no problems with being terminated?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think I would, because you're responsible for your own actions. So.
Abby, who's responsible, in your opinion, and it can be any, for your success as a salesperson?
Myself. I mean, you guys help out a lot. You guys answer a lot of my questions, so you guys do have a part in me selling cars. You guys push me to be able to go back and talk to the customer with more confidence.
So if I set a goal for you, a realistic goal, let's say 8 cars a month,
I can win, yeah.
and you didn't do it, and I terminated you for that reason, how would that make you feel?
With the situation now, it make me feel pretty disappointed for the fact of it is hard to sell cars, especially with the MSRP being up and them being kind of you get what you get kind of thing, because some people will be like, well, I don't like the color. Well, there's no other.
I'm not saying I'm doing that, I'm just curious what your feelings would be if that was the case.
Dude,
Even though you put yourself,
disappointing.
even though you put yourself responsible, you would still feel disappointed?
Yeah,
Disappointed in us or you?
me.
Corey, whose responsibility is it for the success of the salespeople?
The managers.
You don't feel like the responsibility is fully on the salespeople?
Not at all.
If we set a goal of 8 cars a month as the average, and we terminate somebody on that for that reason, for not hitting those, who's to blame in that?
At the end of the day, it's the managers.
What did you feel like you learned off that whole situation for the 2021 F-150 customer?
There needs to be clear-cut communication. That was a big thing. And understanding what the customer was trying to discuss instead of trying to push them in a corner and find out details that were not necessarily relevant to the car buying process.
Right now, do you feel like you're under an immense amount of pressure to sell a car at all costs?
Absolutely.
And have we talked about not feeling under pressure to sell cars at all costs?
Sure, but it's always going to be there in the back of your mind when there's a quota that you have to meet.
Yeah.
You're always going to try to meet them.
Yeah. So obviously what you're trying to say is there is an immense amount of pressure on you to get there, but it's kind of hard for you to figure out how to take the pressure away but still have the pressure to get the job.
I like how you manipulated that sentence.
In what regard?
You just there's always going to be pressure there, no matter what. Whether you try to tell yourself, no, that's just what an achiever's mindset is going to be. Not an overachiever, but just somebody who is goal-oriented. When there's a goal set forth for you and you're nowhere near completing that, of course you're going to feel pressure. Of course.
Let me ask you this. When we set that goal for you, do you feel that was an achievable goal?
I'm not going to say no, because it is less than what we require here at the store on a monthly basis. But when you're going through a lot, it can look like an unobtainable goal.
Do you feel like you should be shooting for 7, or should you be shooting for more?
Oh, I'm always shooting for more than the goal, but the goal is to reach the goal first, and then whatever happens after that, it's just a bonus.
Do you feel the goal should be reach the goal first, or should the goal be to reach one car as it comes?
Well, of course, you can only sell one car at a time, but...
So my point to you is that's what you should be concentrating on. Each car individually, not your goal. Because if you keep selling those cars, you have plenty of time to sell enough to get there. And what I'm trying to point out is you're putting so much pressure on yourself to sell 7, and you're losing the 1. So don't worry about the 7 yet. Worry about the 1 car, and then the next car, and then the next car. Don't worry about them as a whole number. Worry about them individually.
Okay.
So remember when we talked the other day about who's responsible for your success, and that's the whole point of this video, is I feel responsible because I don't want to see you fail. But on the flip side, you feel responsible because you've got to achieve your goals. It's a little different for a manager because a manager is responsible for the people below them, but you are responsible for yourself. So that's why when I asked the question to Corey, for instance, Corey answered the question that it was his responsibility. Every salesperson I asked them that it was their responsibility. It is, but it's also the manager's responsibility at the same time because that's their job to make sure you succeed. Because if you succeed, we succeed. That's how it works. So you've got to understand that when we are yelling at you or putting pressure on you, it's for your success, not for our success.
Can I mention something?
Yeah, sure.
When a person stops feeling the pressure, though, that's when you know that they've just stopped trying. Because putting that pressure and having that pressure felt, you know that person, salesperson, a manager, whoever that may be, is trying their hardest to obtain the goal. If that makes any sense.
Is the pressure gone away for you?
No. I'm still here. I'm still trying.
Is the pressure here for us?
Probably, because you guys have goals to meet too. And
I'm talking about with you.
No. So that's why you're here sitting in front of me.
Yeah, we've kept the pressure on you non-stop. So that validates what you said is none of us are giving up on you yet because we're all trying to push you to achieve those goals.
I appreciate that.
So, and I do appreciate you being honest, especially in front of a camera. But let's talk a little bit about where you're at mentally right now.
Done with this shit. It's hot as hell outside. I just want to go home, eat an ice cream, and relax. But, I'm here.
What's the goal today?
Well, I finished my work plan. That's always the first goal for me. Talk to my customers and make sure that they're being followed up with appropriately. And now, I'm going to go into my leads, mine them a little bit, see what I can find. And then I'll probably go down to service. And my goal there is to hopefully convert somebody from service to up here since, there's not going to be too many walk-ins because it's hot as hell and a lot of people aren't going to want to go outside. No. I have one, but it's a person that is delivering a title. And that's it.
Oh.
We purchased a vehicle from him.
Okay. Well, like I said, the biggest thing for you right now is one thing. And what is it?
Sell one car at a time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your time. So there we are, that's this week's vlog. I hope you got a little bit of insight. When I first started this channel, the whole point was to give you a day in the life of myself and the salespeople and the managers and what we all get up to and what we have to do on a daily basis. And I really appreciate Lauren's candidness and honesty during that little interview there, purely because she's got a lot of pressure on her right now. I really appreciate that she's willing to do it on camera too. Given the circumstances, she is under a lot of pressure to succeed, and so are the managers. Like I stated for everybody on there is, who's responsible, and at the end of the day, it depends on really who it is, because myself, I'm responsible for my managers to succeed, and then my managers are responsible for their salespeople to succeed. But on the flip side of that, the salespeople are responsible for themselves to succeed. So everyone's really responsible for everybody else at that point, to make sure that everyone is succeeding here. And that's why I've always felt that I've done a really good job of building a team
because even though we are individuals and each have individual goals, I think team is very, very important, because like, you know, people like John said, your peers are very important for your success also. So again, I hope you got a little bit of an insight on it. I'm not necessarily saying this was a training session by any stretch of imagination, but it was more of a day in the life of what we're going through right now. And like I said on Monday, we're going through some stuff at the store right now, not in a bad way necessarily, but we've got a couple of people that are struggling, and those people are really busting their butts trying to figure out how to make it work. So I just wanted to make sure that was pointed out. As always, subscribe, push that post notification button. On this side I'm going to post up my subscription, on this side we're going to post up another video, and I'll see you all next week.